everybody. Welcome to Astro Reads with AMZN. I am AMZN, and today we are doing Gemini's June reading. So let's get started. The main deck I'm using for this reading is the Spellcaster's Tarot deck, and I will use the Mermaid Tarot deck to clarify. So we're going to start with a general energy reading, then we're going to move into love, and then we're going to do career and finance, and at the end we will do advice with my Crystal Medicine Oracle deck. Okay. What's going on with Gemini in June? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I feel like June is pretty hectic for Geminis. You know, with Mercury in retrograde in Gemini, like, there's just a lot during Gemini season, like, okay. Okay, let's see if anything else wants to come out. Y'all are quiet. Oh, it's because Cancer season has you guys, like, feeling your feels and you don't like it. That's what I think. That's what I feel. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So the first card that came out was Death in Reverse. You may have Scorpio placements. You might be dealing with a Scorpio. There is something that has not ended, whether it be because you haven't ended it, or if there's another party involved, they haven't ended it, or if it's something that is kind of like your hands are kind of tied and out of your control thing. It's not done yet. Yeah, and it feels like it's causing you some distress, because we have the Five of Swords here right after that. So, you know, you might be a little mean. You might be kind of, you know, saying some not so nice things, or just getting into kind of little petty, like, arguments, like making things a thing when it doesn't need to be, or sometimes I feel like Gemini can be not as serious when the time calls for it, and that can be frustrating and that can cause problems. I feel like it might be something like that too, where there's something that you're taking it lightly and it doesn't need to be taken lightly. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse after that. You're unhappy with something, or just you want more out of something, and you're realizing now that, you know, what you've done prior doesn't really connect with you anymore. And I think that's, you know, kind of typical or normal for Gemini placements, especially because you get inspired by so many things. You're very curious, you have a lot of ideas, you take in a lot of information, you're just processing, right? So it's easy to kind of like jump from one idea or one thing to the next, or be working on something and see something else and be like, oh, that looks cool, and then just go jump to that thing. I feel like this could, you know, obviously be in regards to like work, or just, you know, like what you've done for yourself. You're just like, or what even the things that you have, you're just like, you know, wanting something different, wanting something else. And at the bottom of the deck here, we do have the Ace of Wands. So again, you know, you're feeling inspired and you have this energy. You want to engage and do and, you know, connect. But there's something here that needs to close out first, or needs to be handled. And I want to get more information on this Five of Swords, because I feel like there's a little bit more to it. Let's see. That's funny. Death in reverse again at the bottom of this deck. Yeah, see? All right. Tell me more about this Five of Swords. Oh, take that. Yeah. I thought so. Yeah. Right. So, to clarify the Five of Swords, we have the Nine of Swords. And my head was literally like hurting, and I'm like, okay, well, I wonder if there's something that like is going on. Like, they're just, again, you know, you guys process a lot of information. There's a lot that goes on in your minds, but I do think that it is in regards to what needs to be finished here, what needs to close out. And with the Devil here, you know, you could have Capricorn placements, or you could be dealing with a Capricorn. With the Devil here, you know, it's making you feel trapped and stuck, and that's why you're like, I'm not really impressed by these things. Like, I want more. I want something else. I want something different, right? It's making you feel stuck. But if you look here, you can see that lock is unlocked, but the mermaid is trapped in there still, and it's just not realizing that you do have the power to shift, right? Because you are great at that, right? So this thing that you are ruminating on, that is, you know, taking up a lot of space in your mind, I feel it. It's heavy, and if it's, I'm sure it's in regards to this, you know what you have to do, and you can't keep avoiding it, right? And it's going to just keep kind of bringing up, you're going to keep yourself in a cycle, right? You're going to keep yourself in a cycle, Scorpio, cycles, like obsessing, like you're going to keep yourself in this cycle of dissatisfaction with the Nine of Pentacles here, right? Even though you have this energy here and inspiration, it's never going to be enough, right? And you don't want that. Alrighty, Geminis. Let's see what's going on in love now. Oops. We're going to do single and dating Gemini first, and then we'll do committed Geminis next. What is going on for single and dating Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are kind of quiet still. I get it. And what do you need to be aware of in regards to relationships? Okay. Let's start there. Yeah. Aw, Gemini. Yeah, Cancer season has you guys kind of like, I understand it. Alrighty. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse here. My posture is so bad. I'm like hunched over. God, I'm too tall for that. Queen of Wands came up first. Queen of Wands in reverse. You know, whatever it is that hasn't closed out is affecting kind of your confidence in certain ways in regards to people, relationships, especially. It has you, maybe feeling like, you're not as fly and you're not as fine and you're not as confident, and that's not true, right? Whatever it is that has to close out, don't allow it to manipulate you, right? You can't avoid difficulty in anything, right? Where there is positive, there is negative. That's just how energy works. So when it comes time for having maybe difficult conversations or just dealing with difficult emotions on your own, it's best to confront them and be real about how it is actually making you feel. Maybe you don't feel as sexy and as engaging as you'd like to be. Maybe you don't have the energy to really go out there or entertain anyone, and that's okay. It's important to admit those things to yourself so you can actually work through them and it doesn't keep you stuck, right? So the thing to be aware of is, with the Seven of Cups in reverse here, is setting good boundaries for yourself, right? Seven of Cups is very much Neptunian energy. We are in Neptune retrograde along with Jupiter retrograde and Saturn retrograde and Pluto retrograde. These are all outer planets, but they have their effects on our daily lives sometimes. And with Neptune in retrograde, that's really kind of uncovering things about ourselves, things about our relationships, and I think boundaries is one of those things, but also dealing with your difficult emotions or dealing with having difficult conversations with people and taking them seriously, because as uncomfortable as it is, like, it's just not like fun when someone makes light of something that actually doesn't feel good, so like I know that can sometimes be a defense mechanism, but try not to do that and allow yourself to actually feel that, because it's important to do that so you understand what's happening within you, right? Everyone says Gemini is two-faced, but that's really kind of just the polarity between the light and dark, let's call it, in a Gemini is just amplified. In Greek mythology, Hermes, Mercury, was the messenger god, but he was also a trickster, and he would mess with people just because, right? And to cause havoc and all of that stuff. So don't do that to yourself, because then you end up doing that with others. And you also don't have time. If you're not feeling this way, you also are just like, I don't have time for anybody that is doing this, that isn't being real about how they feel, or isn't setting or respecting proper boundaries and things like that, right? Let's see here. Yeah, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So, you might not feel like things are moving right now, and like I said, you feel kind of stuck. And that's because there's some processing that needs to happen. There's something that needs to finish. There's something that needs to be unveiled to you that you have to allow yourself to see before anything can really move. Yeah, see, and then we have the World in reverse. Yeah, they're like big cycles, like really some habits, really relationships, behaviors, things that you've held on to from childhood and from your past. Like, some of those things are still working within you, and you might not even realize, or you do, and you're just not taking the time to deal with it. So take that time, so you can enjoy the things that you enjoy, and being around people, and and engaging and having conversations and having fun like you love to do. Okay, single gems. single gems. So let's see now with committed Gemini. What's going on with you? What is going on with committed Geminis? This is for monogamous and polyamorous relationships. I do not discriminate over here. Okay, let's see. Oops. Oh my gosh. Gemini, you guys literally make my head spin. Like, my head is just like so heavy. Is this what it's like? Oh goodness. Okay. Alrighty. What's going on? Oh, okay. That was quick. Oh, okay. And what do Gemini in relationships need to be aware of? About their relationships. Ooh. Okay. Okay, got some interesting things here. So we have the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords also came up for Sagittarius. But I think it was in reverse. I can't remember. But if you or your partner or partners aren't communicating in full, start doing that, right? Something isn't being fully revealed or expressed. And again, I feel like, that's just with all this energy of being in cycle, still maintaining this cycle that's not really advantageous to you, right? Because we have the Tower here in reverse right after that. Aries, Scorpio energy. You might have Aries or Scorpio placements. Your partner or partners might have Aries or Scorpio placements. And the Tower in reverse is like, you have to move with intention before this crumbles, before you are stuck with a faulty foundation, or before you know what I mean? Like, there is still time basically to like do something, to speak your truth, to say what's real, right? Because you have the Page of Cups here right after that. And so being able to express yourself, especially with your partner, and especially when it's something that you might be afraid to express because you're afraid how they might react, or they're afraid how you might react, so they're like tiptoeing around you, like, that's what it kind of feels like, walking on eggshells. It's hard to be vulnerable when you already feel like you're in a space where you can't be vulnerable. And sometimes it feels like the best thing to do is to just say what's easiest, or what you believe is best for someone else to handle. But that can start to maneuver into manipulation, because now you're omitting things, and because you don't want to deal with a potential reaction, right? Very scorpionic sometimes. That's why I feel like there's some a lot of this fixed energy coming up, with the World here. Even for single Geminis, this card came up for single Geminis, but this is also representative of fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. You might have any of those placements too, single gems. But here again, more Scorpio energy for committed gems, like, or what good is it going to do for you to maintain that type of space, right? Or maintain a facade, like that, you know. Don't leave your partner or partners begging you, or don't allow them to have you begging for more, for this vulnerability, for the affection, or for the love, or for the intimacy that you require, right? Allow the love to flow. Show them love by standing up for yourself, because that's really what love is. When you stand up for yourself, you are showing to someone else, like, I want you to keep loving me this way, because this is what I require. And I want to keep loving you the same way that you require, right? So let the love come through by being honest and real. And it might not feel great in the moment, but it's what follows was supposed to happen. And you have to keep being intentional with each decision you make thereafter, right? Right? With the Ten of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck, you know, whatever you might be carrying that is heavy, and you've been wanting to get it off your chest or off your shoulders, and you've been thinking about endlessly, like, release yourself from that burden. Okay? Like I said, I know it's uncomfortable, and I know it's not easy, and I'm not dismissing that at all. But it's for you first, because that's what you need. And it will then help you in all of your relationships, because now you are showing people, this is how you love me. This is how I would like to be loved. And I would like for you to show me how to love you as well. And, you know, it's up to you and you both to do that for each other. Or all of you to do that for each other, right? So don't be afraid. We are in the perfect season to do this. Okay? All right. So next we're going to move into career and finance. Let's see what's going on. Career and finance. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Cut this. Alrighty. Ooh, what's going on for Gemini in their career? Ooh. Okay, and finances. All right. Oh, okay. And how can Gemini have a better relationship with their money? Alrighty. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so the first card that came up was the Three of Pentacles. This is great because this is collaboration. This is coming together with folks, reaching out to people to share your ideas, see how you can build, and start really bringing your ideas to fruition. You know, this is good as far as money because it helps you to maximize the amount that you spend, as far as, you know, working along with people to split costs and things like that. So that's really good, you know, like, you feel good when you get to work with people, and especially people that understand your vision, because sometimes it may be hard for you to articulate that, but you know how to show it. And so it's good when you are around people that understand what your vision is and can see it along with you and can help you put the pieces to that together, right? Because similar to Sagittarius, who is your opposite sign, It's sometimes difficult for you to see like all the moving parts that are necessary for certain things. And so bringing in people that can help you with doing that and show you, and you can learn from them and things like that. This is how you really are able to start flowing in your idea, flowing in your career, your trade, your craft, and building a foundation, not just of, you know, what it is that you're doing, but of a network as well. And to better your finances, you got to tie up loose ends with death in reverse once again. Yeah, heavy Scorpio energy in this reading. You know, sometimes we start things and don't finish them, right? So if there are things that you've started and didn't finish, and you've gone back to that idea and you still don't want to deal with it, get rid of it, right? If you have subscriptions that you're not using, cancel them. If you are buying things that were a part of some idea that now you are no longer pursuing, do something with those. Sell them, again, give them away, right? Something to drop this kind of like weight of things that are just taking up space and essentially taking money out of your pocket, right? It's easy to, you know, again, kind of go head first into an idea and be like, okay, I need this, this, and this, and you start getting all the things, right? But again, did you look at a bit more detailed examination of what this plan is going to be? Ooh, excuse me. You know, did you give yourself some time to like, okay, look at like what it takes and how long it takes to do certain things and this, that, and the third, right? So it's like sometimes when you miss those steps or breeze through those steps and don't account for everything, you end up with stuff that you no longer need, and it's just kind of there. So again, if there are possessions that you know you no longer use, if there's subscriptions that you no longer use, cancel them. If there are, you know, things that are just kind of like coming out of your account and you don't really see when or how, like take some time to look at that and get that in order too. So again, you can close this cycle of having kind of all of these just like open loose ends, or again, things that are just taking up space, right? Because we have the Empress in reverse at the bottom of the deck, and that it kind of makes you, again, it makes it harder to create. It makes it harder to invest and reinvest. It makes it harder to support other people as well, right? It makes it harder to support other people as well. We have 2 3s on the board here. So, and Gemini, that's your number. So, you know, that it makes it hard to communicate. It makes it hard to create. It makes it hard to connect. So you really want to make sure that you're being a little bit more intentional about where your money is going, what you're spending your money on, and, you know, shedding the things that you no longer need. Yeah. Because then there's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse right after that. So you don't want to feel like you don't have opportunities. You don't want to feel like you don't know where to go to get resources or, again, help with the cost of things, because you do, and it's available to you. You know, again, it's just about clearing space and understanding where things are coming, where things are going, and moving forward there. All right. Not a bad read. And lastly, we're going to move on to some advice from the Crystal Medicine Oracle deck that I have here. Let's see. What advice? Any last advice for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Are there any last messages for Gemini? Nice. Nice. This is great. This is great. Love it. Okay. The first card that came out here was moving forward, right? The totem here is air. That's you. And the crystal here says what? Seraphonite. And the number is 19, which breaks down to a 1, right? So putting yourself first in specific ways, understanding what it is that you're feeling, and as you do that, you are able to move forward. Also feeling Sagittarius energy here because the arrow, right? That's what happens when you allow yourself to feel things and process those, as well as understanding what to take from it afterwards. You get wisdom, and wisdom allows you to move forward and make sure that you don't keep sitting in the same cycles, keep doing the same things over and over again, right? And also when you move with intention, the staff is the totem here, and pyrite is the crystal, and the number here is 18, which breaks down to a 9. Again, more Sag energy too. Moving with intention also saves you from a lot of what's the word, misplaced energy, right? It saves you from doing too much, right? And getting in over your head, right? Allowing yourself again to feel and understand where these feelings are coming from, understand why you have certain habits or why you engage in certain things, allows you to recognize what you need to let go of, recognize what you'd like to keep and what is actually advantageous to keep, and allows you to move forward so that you intentionally get to the thing that you want, right? And you will understand how to maneuver through that journey. And moving with truth and integrity is always, you can't go wrong. The totem is summer and the crystal is turquoise, and this breaks down to a 5. So 5 is the number of freedom. 9 is the number of a coming together. You're almost at completion, right? You've built up, you've gotten to here, and you're almost at the end, right? And 1, like I said, yourself. Take that time to feel yourself, Gemini, right? Moving with truth and integrity, speaking truth and integrity as well, saying the full thing, not trying to regulate how people are going to react to what you say, because that's not what communication is. That's not healthy, and that stifles you as well. So keep these things in mind and know not to run from yourself, okay? Because there's a lot to learn, and that's really exciting. And I know that when you continue to recognize this, then you'll realize, and you will continue to do that work for yourself. All right, Gemini, I hope this resonated. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Share with the homies, of course. And if you'd like a personal reading, my readings are open, so you can book with me. And I'll leave all that information in the description box. Have a good one.